Well, no water and no answers from officials have left tips drier than, of course, biltong on the Kalahari over the past couple of weeks. And parts of Johannesburg are still going through a dry spell, and disgruntled residents are taking a stand, saying enough is enough. Well, eNCA reporter Hloni Mtimkulu is on the ground now, tracking developments for us. So let's cross over to her for the very latest. Hloni, a very warm good morning. And once again, I mean, we continue to place water shortages on the spotlight. But what I see from behind you, Hloni, if you can hear me, looks like a protest, or at least, rocks being placed on the roads being blocked. So it means that motorists can't even pass through.
Yeah, that's right, Dumelo. Since around 6 this morning in the South Hills area, the community, it's part of a development a housing development in the area. They have been protesting over a lack of water, and they say that they have not received answers, or they're not receiving answers in terms of what is going on at the moment. It had been a little bit calmer maybe about an hour ago, but I think things are starting to just ignite again. I think from this crowd of people that are here, there is a bigger crowd that is further up Neffen Road, but this small crowd here, they've started the burning of the tires again. And then there is police presence here, and I think they were trying to disperse the crowd, because maybe about 5 or 10 minutes ago we saw that weapons had been drawn by police. As you can see, they're now having some sort of conversation, I think, or trying to disperse the crowd maybe. I'm not sure if that's going to be successful, because there's a lot of angry residents that are saying that they just want their water supply back. I had heard that they were waiting for the ward councillor to come and address them. The ward councillor said to be in a meeting with the city of Johannesburg, but from what we had heard, the residents say they don't necessarily want to talk to the ward councillor. They just want their water supply back. We did try to speak to 1 or 2 members of the public here, well, a few actually, but not very many of them were willing to talk, but they have voiced frustration and anger at the situation that they do find themselves in, Dumelo. So that gathering with the police is over now, and the weapons have now disappeared. But as I said, about 10 minutes ago, the police had drawn their weapons, I think, trying to disperse this crowd. But they have said that they're not going anywhere. They just want the supply of water back, Dumelo.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like the residents are also not letting up at this stage. Hloni, it can only bring one to imagine how long they've been without water. Do you know at this stage, Hloni, I mean, how long they've been inconvenienced heavily without access to water?
Yeah, so it's been about 7 weeks without water, Dumelo, since around August. And we've covered in a different part of South Hills, further up around the clinic, where we've also heard that they don't have water. And generally for days and days, there's no water, even weeks. And then sometimes there'll be like a trickle of water that comes in the evening, and then by the morning time, that water is gone again. So it has been about 7 weeks, stretching back to August sometime, that residents don't have water. Another concern that they were raising about this housing development was the fact that some residents are saying that it seems that they're not actually accounting for the fact that they are building these houses, and so they're not checking if the building that they're doing will be able to keep up with the water supply, will be able to keep up with all the developments that are coming up in this area. So, and then there was also questions about the electricity supply as well. So I think there might be general service delivery issues that have been raised, but especially at this housing development here, they do have water supply challenges for the past about 2 months now. It is, Dumelo.
Hloni, have you had a chance to speak to some of the residents? I mean, what are they saying would be their next steps should their pleas and grievances and concerns not be heard from this moment moving forward? Because this is a clear indication of trying to get the attention of, the relevant authorities to assist them, to give them the water that they rightfully so deserve at this point. But do we know as to if they have any confidence into whether or not they will have their pleas and concerns answered to?
Yeah, so I have been trying to speak to them. They are okay to speak off camera, but not so much in front of camera. I know that some of them have taken the day off. A number of them actually have taken the day off work to protest, and they have said that they'll be here. But the problem is they can't take more and more days off work. But so I think because they've taken the day off work, so some of them aren't too keen to speak. But they are, as I said, they are trying to get the attention of the ward councillor. They have been told that the ward councillor is in a meeting with the city of Joburg to also find out what's going on. That the councillor, this was about, I would say about an hour ago when we spoke earlier, that the ward councillor would be here to address them, but maybe not all of them, maybe a group of them. So they are waiting for that to happen. I don't know if it's still going to be a longer wait than this, but they had been told that in about an hour the ward councillor would be here. They are turning people away. We've just seen a motorbike that's turning away. There were other cars also that have been turned away that are not being allowed to pass through the barricades. Some have tried to get through them, but the crowd turns them away, and as we can see now, that's still happening now, Dumelo. But just to answer your question, in terms of who they're hoping to get attention from, the ward councillor, hopefully officials from the city of Joburg. We saw yesterday the mayor was in the south of Johannesburg, in another part of the south of Johannesburg, addressing residents in Crown Gardens and Robertsham with the ward councillors in those areas. So they are perhaps hoping that they will get also the mayor again, or some sort of a representation somewhere to explain what is going on in their area, Dumelo.
All right, well, of course, we'll continue to place a close eye on those protest action. From where you stand, Hloni, residents definitely not happy. 7 weeks too long to be without any water, waiting to hear from the relevant officials as to what exactly will be the next steps to ensuring that they do get assistance at this stage. As you can see, they're burning tyres, placing rocks and stones on the road, not allowing any motorists to pass by through. And we've also seen, some law enforcement trying to engage with some of the residents, but saying that they want water and they want it now because it's been far too long, 7 weeks, without having access to water and meeting their basic needs. Thank you so much, Hloni Mtimkulu. We'll come back to you, colleague, as soon as there are any other developments.